Coming up, Congressman Andy Barr holds a telephone town hall with constituents following some protests.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Each quarter, Congressman Andy Barr hosts a telephone town hall to meet with his constituents. Tonight, Barr answered questions from folks in the 6th Congressional District. Madison Carmouche gives us a listen at what the town hall entailed.
Congressman Andy Barr is in Washington, D.C., but on Monday he hosted his quarterly telephone town hall. The congressman took the 90-minute call as an opportunity to update constituents on the state of the nation's economy.
We're tackling the debt. We're going to grow our economy by unleashing domestic energy, restoring an energy dominance strategy that will bring down costs and restore investor confidence in the United States.
Congressman Barr was also focused on the Kentucky economy, giving hope to listeners about the security of the state's bourbon industry.
Nothing is more American than Kentucky bourbon. President Trump is fighting for American whiskey, so it is the first choice among consumers everywhere.
One listener called in to ask about what is being done to improve agriculture, specifically the cattle industry in the Commonwealth.
I think it's very exciting that we have this new University of Kentucky sponsored, hosted livestock innovation center in Woodford County that's going to help us recruit and train a new workforce.
Some callers say they are worried about government security. Congressman Barr using this platform as an opportunity to remind listeners of the democratic process.
And for anyone who thinks that there are threats to democracy, just consider that 77 million Americans elected this president and this agenda. I would argue that that is democracy.
In Lexington, Madison Carmouche, WKYT.
Now, this follows another town hall in Lexington Saturday, attended by nearly 1,000 people, but not by Congressman Barr. Folks there protested several of President Trump's policies. Employees at the Red River Gorge, Mammoth Cave, and Camp Nelson who were fired following federal cuts are returning to work. Those terminations came from President Trump's attempt to reduce federal spending by firing quote-unquote unnecessary federal workers. Hundreds of national park workers all across the United States were terminated as a result. The Lexington Herald-Leader reports the employees were reinstated through a court order. The judges say the firings were illegal and all employees will receive back pay. Today was their first day back to work. Now, the Trump administration is asking the Supreme Court to halt the ruling, rehiring those workers.
Hi, good evening, everybody. We continue to deal with some really nice weather across central and eastern Kentucky, the southeastern part of the state today, warmer than our neighbors to the north and northwest. Let's take a little trip down Interstate 75 near the Kentucky-Tennessee border into Whitley County. Good-looking skies there. What about your Tuesday? Okay, not going to be as nice as what we had today. The temperature trend going to be all over the place. I think a lot of us will top out upper 40s to low 50s during the day. Got to be on guard for a couple of showers, especially through the first half of the day. Radar picture right now across southeastern Kentucky. Nothing going on. You notice those clouds that were increasing right before sunset time. Those have a little rain with them back here across southern parts of Indiana, Illinois. That is ahead of a clipper. Yeah, I said it, a clipper. It's going to bring some of those showers into town not only for Tuesday, but into part of Wednesday as well as this system zips its way on through the region. We got a big rebound in your temperatures coming up. We'll talk about that when I return in just a few minutes.
All right, Chris Bailey, appreciate you pinch hitting for Eric as he's on vacation this week. Well, Floyd County officials are encouraging folks impacted by last month's flood to take part in some upcoming events. Kentucky Emergency Management is coming to Prestonsburg tomorrow to host a question and answer event at the Mountain Arts Center, giving needed information about the FEMA-funded program to purchase properties in the floodplain. The county is also working with Apple Red Legal Aid to help flood survivors who have been denied federal funding, and the workshop aims to help them appeal those denials. Floyd County Judge Executive Robbie Williams says the events are all about helping communities prepare for progress since there was no way to truly prepare for the loss they experienced.
This one, we knew for a week it was coming. National Weather Service told us, prepare, it's coming. You better get ready. People got stuff out of the garage, they got stuff moved out of the way. One thing that you couldn't move was your homes.
The buyout Q&A will take place at the Mountain Arts Center tomorrow, and Apple Red Legal Aid will be at the Floyd County Courthouse Thursday. We have more details on all this on our website. Hazard High School students continue to give back after the flood. Students with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes plan to create bags for homeless people in Hazard, working to pass them out on the day of the flood. Then, changing their plan, giving out bags to flood survivors as well. Principal Kathy Patrick says the students just want to help.
I am just so proud of our students because it is student-led, and you know, our kids, it's all about them. They come and they ask me, can I do this, can I do that, and they come up with the ideas.
The students handed the bags off to the Hazard Police Department. They are now working to hand them out to folks in need. A federal fugitive is behind bars after a multi-agency raid in Whitley County. Corbin police say a drug investigation led them to Christopher Jones, who was wanted for violating federal parole. He had been released after a meth trafficking conviction but failed to complete court-ordered rehab. Police contacted the U.S. Marshals, who along with the ATF and local law enforcement executed a search warrant at a home on Delmar Sargent Road. Inside, officers found 7 ounces of meth, firearms, and 3 children allegedly living in filth. Their mother, Michaela Sullivan, was arrested for criminal abuse.
We contacted Whitley County DCBS to assist us with the investigation, and they spoke with the children who reported to social workers that they were just kind of living in poor conditions. So it's good at the end of the day to be able to remove them from that situation.
Jones is now in federal custody and Sullivan remains in jail. She has a court hearing next week while the children are in protective care. Human remains found in 2023 have now been identified. Officials say it was William Cross from Scott County, Tennessee. Scott County Sheriff's deputies say Cross went missing in 2018 after he went for a walk in the woods in McCreary County and was not seen or heard from again. Then in 2023, remains were found by a teenager walking in the woods. Officials say his family has been notified and is asking for privacy. The cause of death has not been released. A Clay County woman is facing charges after being accused of starting a fire near someone's property. Police received a call about the incident last week. A witness told them that Janelle Hoskins was burning the woods down on Bells Fork Road. The witness told police that Hoskins started multiple fires and had no business being on the property. Police later arrested Hoskins. She was taken to the Clay County Detention Center. It was a somber welcome home today for one Southern Kentucky soldier. The Army says Specialist Chaz McGowan died on March 8th while serving in Germany. This afternoon, his body returned to his old Kentucky home. WYMT's Phil Pendleton talked with people in Casey County who are preparing for a final farewell.
In a town called Liberty, you'd be certain to find a lot of patriotic pride.
I am out here to honor one of our own. We're a small town and we're dedicated, and that's why we're here.
The line Main Street as U.S. Army Specialist Chaz McGowan made his final trip home.
I didn't get to talk to him a lot. He told us when he enlisted one time, and it was so proud moment. But it's so sad to think such a good person is lost from the community.
McGowan's body arrived at an airport in Louisville, then a procession followed as he was brought to the funeral home in downtown Liberty. McGowan died on March 8th during service in Germany.
He wanted a purpose. He felt like his life needed a purpose, and so that's when he signed up.
The U.S. Army released a statement saying they are heartbroken by the loss of Chaz McGowan. They say that he was a dedicated soldier and a valued member of their team. McGowan also received several awards, including the Army Commendation Medal and the Expert Infantry Badge. But veterans say it is honorable that he simply served.
I'm speaking for all of us. That is the most noble thing, in our opinion, that a person can do when they put their country before themselves.
I know that this is a heartache for them. It's a heartache for our country. It's a heartache for our community.
People now say they want to offer service whatever way McGowan offered his to his community and country. In Casey County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The U.S. Army tells us McGowan's cause of death remains under investigation. Funeral arrangements will be announced Tuesday at McKinney Brown Funeral Home in Liberty.